What's happening, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Ruse Reviews, and today we are chatting about Phonewords from Mustafa Bajawi and Illusionary. So let's get into this. Yes, what's happening, gang? Welcome back. And in today's episode, we are cracking on with the Blackpool gravy train of cool things that I saw whilst at Blackpool. And this is Phonewords. Phonewords is a brand new app from my buddy Mustafa Bajawi over at Illusionary. If you don't know who Mustafa is, I actually did a review for him for last year's Blackpool on his amazing pocket printer glyphs. So go and check that out along with a couple of other things. That's in a video that I will tag up here, or you can find it in my previous videos, but go and check that out. His company Illusionary is absolutely amazing. Everything that these guys put out is super cool. I must have maybe 5 or 6 things in rotation from Illusionary right now, including things like the Rain Man Pro app, which is amazing. I'll review it here at some point, but I use it all the time. It's very, very cool. Glyphs I have in rotation, Noti, Instaforce I still use, which is an impromptu way of forcing a picture from Instagram. Many things that I've used. And now Phonewords is in my working set as well. But what is Phonewords, I hear you cry? Well, Phonewords allows you to read a spectator's mind via the use of your phone's keypad. Actually, let me just reel off exactly what the spectators can think of. They can think of any name, any animal, any cities in English, any cities in French, any words in English, any words in Spanish, any words in French, any words in Danish, and any words in Italian. And along with this, you can also get information such as birthdays, which allows you to peek the day that they were born, along with the star sign that they are. So the first time I saw this, I was literally on my way back to the hotel from the Ruskin at whatever time of the morning, and I saw Mustafa and Charlie Hewish walking towards me from wherever they had been that evening. They were heading to the Ruskin, we were going home from the Ruskin, me and my friend Tim, and he just showed this to me on the street outside Winter Gardens. There was no one really there, it was just us, and he showed me what this could do, just really quick, really snappy. And I was like, yeah, I've got to review this because it is really cool. Now, if you've seen Illusionary online, you might have seen a couple of performances circulating. There's a performance to the French twins, and there's also a performance to Lloyd Barnes, both with Charlie Hewish performing them. Included within the app are integrations with Illusionary's other products, and indeed other products on the market space. This is what Mustafa does really well. He's aware of where the mentalism space is right now in terms of technology and in terms of apps, and when he builds new apps, he does that with other products in mind as well. So this has work with the Glyphs portal, so it works from the pocket printer as well. It also works with API, so if you have other apps, and it can integrate with other apps as well, including like impression devices and loads of different things. And Peaksmith, the actual integration with Peaksmith, if you guys know what Peaksmith is, I'm not going to explain what it is here, but go and check it out. It has an integration with Peaksmith that is absolutely free. But if you don't have an external peaking device like a Peaksmith, or indeed have any other integrations with any other apps, then this app does exactly what it says on the tin. You can have them think of any word, spell it into their keypad. So what I mean by that is, if you go to your keypad here on your phone, you can literally get them to spell out any word. So you can see how it says ABC all the way up to Z, all the way there, like you would with the old Nokia phones. You get them to spell a word. So if that word was magic, for example, it would be M-A-G-I-C, and that would spell magic. Now, in the guise of them then deleting it, they remember maybe a couple of the digits or something like that. You're trying to guess the digit. You're then going to try and type what that digit is. You get your peak. And the peak is really cool. In fact, I've only had it where I maybe only had 3 options that a word could be at one point. The dictionary that this app uses, the actual internal dictionary that this app uses, really narrows down the options that you have. It's really very cool. It's sort of like an inbuilt version of Enigma, but within this keypad. And you can create such a cool connection between yourself and the spectator, especially if you do routines like Charlie shows with the French twins, where he borrows the phone and swaps the phones with one of the French twins. I forget the names exactly, but swaps the phone with them, and he's able to then guess. It's a spectator's mind reader's plot. One of the French twins is able to guess the number that Charlie is typing in, and those numbers match exactly. It's such a cool connection, and there are multiple layers as well that sit within this app. Not only is the key dial, the keypad peak included, Also, if you go to the contacts setting in your phone pad, you can get them to type in any name they want, search for any name they like, and see if you have a matching person or a matching name within that list. If you don't or you do, it's kind of a cool moment. If you don't, you get them to delete it, it's fine. But in that moment, you can get a peek on an external peek device like Peaksmith. So if you have a Peaksmith, the contacts peek will work with the Peaksmith. It doesn't work if you don't have a Peaksmith. The peek that will work is the keypads peek. And I'll be honest with you, I've performed this so many times without a Peaksmith, without any external peeking devices, and the keypads peek is absolutely killer. It's one of the best peeking things I've seen in a very, very long time. So there are two other included integrations which I haven't mentioned yet. One of them is an earpiece audio. So if you use an earpiece for any of your mentalism routines, that integration is included. And also if you use a Wilson remote or a keyboard remote or any external remote that you might use to do sneaky business with, that integration is also included. This app currently sits in test flight mode, and at some point I'm sure it will go native at some point, but in test flight you get everything you need, and within the group you get the manual PDF as well. The PDF is fairly short, it just teaches you the basics of how to use it. It doesn't go into any routining or anything, but I'm sure that will be updated as time goes on. I mean, the main idea is just to show you how to use the app. And of course, needless to say, it is for iOS devices only. I know that will ruffle a few feathers, but it is, I'm sorry. I must have about 20 Magic Phone apps on my phone at the moment, probably more actually. And I'll be honest, half of them don't really get used. There are a few in the arsenal such as Wikitest and iThump that I use all the time. And Phonewords feels like it will sit in that gambit as well. And I say that because as soon as I downloaded the app, I moved it to my first screen. Now, you know if you're an app magician, where that first screen sits and when you want to get those apps easily accessible. Apps I use as well, like Enigma. Enigma is on my action button, so I don't have to go through any process when opening up the phone. I just have to click my action button and Enigma opens. That's how much I love Enigma. And with Phonewords, it is straight there on my first screen, so I know I have easy access to set up this trick at a moment's notice. And Mustafa, I know very, very well, and I know that his customer support and how he will support around this app will be top notch. Everything Illusionary produces is top notch. I wouldn't be using at least 5 of their products in my working set comfortably if they didn't. The app currently sits at around £100 and there is an additional price of about £50 for the API add-on, which is great if you have glyphs or any other API interaction. But at some point, and I think fairly soon, that price is going to go up. And I can see why. The actual work that goes into all of this, it takes a lot, and to maintain that will take a lot as well. So if you want to get it, go grab it now from Illusionary. The links are below. That's it from me, guys. There's really not much more for me to say other than pick up Phonewords from Illusionary. Links are below. Like, subscribe, smash that notification bell, and I'll see you all very, very soon. Ciao.